Taking a look at my brand new custom built 300 Blackout AR-15. I built this myself, and I'm just going to kind of cover the parts that are on this thing and a rough estimate of how much it all costs. So let's start with the lower. So this is an Advanced Armament 300 Blackout lower. Obviously it's a 5.56-223 lower, no difference. The only thing is that it is branded 300 Blackout, which is kind of cool. So that's just the Advanced Armament Corp, right? And then on the other side here, you'll see, if I can turn everything around here, the company itself that made that round, AAC, which usually builds suppressors, and there's 300 Blackout. So what I ended up doing is a lot of freaking work. The upper is a Advanced Armament 300 upper. It's kind of cool, billet upper, and you can see it's not very rounded. It's very angled, which I like a lot. It gives it some bulk. The handguard over here is from HM Defense, as is the barrel. The barrel is a stainless steel fluted 1x8 twist, and this muzzle brake is a stainless steel muzzle brake from Precision Armament, or Precision Arms in Wisconsin. Really cool muzzle brake there. I thought it matched what I was trying to do with the gun very, very well. So you can see the gas ports right there. So really, really nice barrel, nice muzzle. The handguard from HM Defense is extremely nice. It's an M-LOK, as you can see. So it's got M-LOK on the sides. It's got a full top rail, Picatinny rail. On the bottom, it's got M-LOK slots. These are VISM aluminum Picatinny rail points that I added to the bottom over here. Obviously, right here, you've got a Magpul AFG. Magpul aluminum cantilever on both sides of the gun, so that you can mount like a flashlight. You can mount a laser or something like that with a very small mount point right there. I've got the MBUS Magpul flip up sights. Basically just needed them for co-witness. Wasn't really necessary because I've got this Trijicon RX34 amber dot. This thing is completely independent of batteries, so it uses the fiber optic that's right on the top over here, and it has built-in tritium for when it's really dark, so you still have that amber dot in the dark, and obviously any amount of ambient light enhances that dot significantly. So very, very nice sight. Really happy with it so far. The bolt and carrier is from WMD. It's a nickel boron plated bolt carrier group. Really, really slick, really nice. And again, the fact that it's polished and nickel plated just gives it that pop. And basically the theme I wanted to go with was that I wanted the barrel and all associated parts that run with the barrel to be basically in stainless or something that is similar to stainless. So that's why I got the muzzle brake in stainless, barrels in stainless obviously, and you got the nickel plated bolt carrier group. The paint on here is a dura-coat that I did myself. And it's in a Tungsten Grey Really nice color. I was originally going to go with something that's more on the natural aluminum or silver looking shade, but I guess what happened was I think that it stands out a little bit too much, and I did want something that remains a tactical looking weapon with a little bit of pop. So I think this color is perfect for that because it contrasts the black nicely, but it's not too far from black to make it look completely silly and stand out, and something that would not be that would be hard to basically hide, or would be very far from inconspicuous had it been anything brighter than this. This is a Lancer A5 magazine. This is the smoke color, so you can kind of see the bullets through. It's translucent, not exactly transparent, not opaque, but somewhere in between, which is really nice. So still gives it that nice little contrast. All the while you can still see the bullets in there, which I love. This is a Seekins Precision trigger guard right here, aluminum. I kept that black again because kind of what you see on the bottom here, on the bottom of the gun is where you have your black components. So you've got this is an Ergo Grip, black grip, right? You've got the black trigger guard. You've got the smoke or black magazine, black rails, black AFG. I just like the way that kind of flows, where the entire bottom of the gun is black. Body of the gun is in that tungsten gray. And then, just the couple accessories, the sights, and then the scope on the top are in black. This is the Magpul UBR. This is the Gen 1. So, I mean, no questions asked. Best stock that you can buy for any AR right now. Really, really easy to install. Super high quality. It just has a very positive feel in terms of it's sliding back and forth. It's just it's got so many different settings in terms of placement and presets that you can load. There's a pin that rides on this rack right here, this rail, and you could set that pin as far back as you want, so that when you hit the preset button, which is on the other side of the UBR stock, instead of having to go through the individual levels to find exactly where you normally would pull it back, the preset will have it slide back to that one spot that you constantly have it on, which is really, really cool. It's got 2 sling attachment points, so you can't see it on this side, but well, let me go ahead and flip it over. It's a pain in the ass flipping this thing over. It's a little bit heavy, not too bad. Nothing like a 308 or an AR-10, but it's definitely heavier than a 223. So there's one sling point right there. There's another right here. Very, very nice. I just ordered a Tactical Link sling, a 1-point sling for that right there. Really happy about that. The trigger, I forgot to mention the trigger on here. So this is the 3MR by Tac-Con. So if you're familiar with the 3MR, basically what it is it's got 3 different settings. So you've got semi-auto, you've got safe, which I can't pull into right now because the bolt has not been pulled back yet. But anyways, you got safe, you got semi-auto, then you have 3MR mode. 3MR mode, what it does is, first and foremost, in a semi-auto, you've got a 4.5 pound pull, maybe a little bit under. Really, really crisp, really nice trigger. You've got very little, if none, I would say probably no creep to it at all. The reset is very short, very precise. You can feel it really well. And you literally, you have no creep after it resets. So it's just a pull right after it resets. But when you put it in 3MR, what's interesting is that once you pull the trigger and the bolt goes back and resets, it actually will adjust the trigger forward in the and avoid the reset altogether. By doing that, you can just pull right away. You're basically, so to explain it like this, so let's say your pull is from here to here. So you pull back the trigger. The bolt will actually go back, and once it goes back, it will automatically pull that trigger forward to the brake wall, so that all you have to do is pull again. So there's no letting your finger go to try to get that reset. It does it by itself. What that does for you is that essentially, with a fast trigger finger, you're able to simulate an automatic type of fire rate, which is amazing. So it's perfectly legal, obviously, because it is not an automatic, but it's probably one of the closest things you can get to an automatic in a semi-auto trigger. I was really upset to hear right after I bought this that we've got the Echo trigger that's on pre-order right now. If you're not familiar with the Echo trigger, similar type of idea, but it's got a patented, it's almost like a second hammer that's behind the trigger group. And what it does, it's got a third mode as well. When you put it in that third mode, when you pull the trigger, it will bang, right? So it'll fire. But then also the trigger reset sends another round through. So if you can imagine, when you're pulling the trigger, again, you pull and then it fires. You let off the trigger and it fires once it resets. So it's literally like a 2-round burst. It's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that's pretty fucking cool. So I heard about that right after I bought this, which really pissed me off. But, you know, a trigger swap ain't going to be a big deal. After having put all this crap together, I mean, this drop-in trigger literally took 2 minutes to do. Really easy because of the fact that it is a complete closed system. So it's literally a drop the trigger in, put the pins in, and you're done. The Echo trigger, I'm not 100% sure if that's the same way. I'm pretty sure it is, but again, it's a little bit different because it's got an extra little hammer that sits behind the trigger group, which is very, very unusual. What you can see right here is the Magpul bad lever. And obviously what that does is it just gives you a enhanced little lever that sits right in front of your trigger finger so that you don't have to reach up here in order to close your bolt or to lock it back. So you can do that either by, obviously for letting the bolt go, you're going to want to pull this down. For locking it up, you're going to want to pull back on the bolt and then pull up on this. Really cool there. What else? The lower parts group I got was from Strike Industries. Good quality. They bagged them nicely so that you don't get confused as to what's what, which I like because apparently there are a lot of companies out there that don't do that. And let me tell you, there are so many freaking pieces that it's very easy to get everything confused and to lose sight of what's what and what goes where. So any company that provides a lower parts kit that actually separates the components and labels them correctly so that it's easy for you to determine what goes where, I really appreciate that. This is the mag magnet. Don't tread on me, because I live in the gay ass state of California where unfortunately we got to have this bullshit bullet button. All right. I forgot to mention the Raptor charging handle. One of the most popular ones you can get now. That's a really, really nice quality aftermarket charging handle. So I highly recommend these. They come in different colors. I wanted the black just because all the other little buttons and levers and all that stuff are black. Otherwise, I would have gotten the black with the tungsten gray. But I thought it was just too much gray over here. And I wanted to break it up with the black. So 300 Blackout, really, really interesting round. One that I'm very interested in learning more about and then shooting. I'll try to take this out real quick. So what I did was I loaded the mag with a couple different types of rounds. These are the Remington supersonics. So these, I believe, are, I want to say 145 grain. But then I broke it up with, if you see like the longer ones that are in there, those are Remington subsonics. I'm sorry, you know what? I take it back. The gray tips are Winchesters. They are the supersonic Winchesters. They're not Remingtons. The ones that are longer are the Remington subsonics. So what I wanted to do, just to kind of break this thing in. Oh, here we go. This is a perfect example. So there's the Remington subsonic. You'll see that it's got a tip that's a little bit longer than the supersonic Winchester does. But heavier bullet, right, means a little bit slower. And from what I've heard, seeing when they pull these bullets out, the bullet pretty much goes all the way down to here. And that does not leave a lot of room for powder. So combining the heavy bullet with less powder means you're just not going to get enough velocity. But I wanted to try to test out the rifle, obviously, to make sure that it cycles through everything. So I bought quite a variety of 300 Blackout rounds just to make sure that, you know, there are no failure to feeds or eject on any of the different types. So again, you know, this is the first time I've ever built an AR. It was a little bit of a chore, especially with the lower. The painting was a pain in the ass, specifically because I'm not a very patient person. So, you know, I see the paint on there, I kind of start imagining what it's going to look like, and I'm like, okay, let's get this done. But obviously you've got to wait for everything to dry and then to cure. And I don't even think, to be honest with you, that this is fully cured, and it's been, on the lower it's been 3 days. On the upper it's been almost a week. This is pretty much cured because I could feel the difference, but this is not. And I really rushed it, putting everything together. And what I did was, what I noticed was, putting it together, I saw little bits of paint that kind of came out where the pins went in, and that really kind of ticked me off. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's a rifle. It's going to get worn one way or another. So as long as it's not too noticeable and you know, it doesn't bother me much, then I'm fine with it. But, you know, coming up in January, we've got the ban for ARs and basically any rifle with a detachable magazine in the state of California. And because of that, I figured it was time to build another, or to build one, buy another AR. And I'm really, really happy with what I got out of this thing. It's, you know, there's definitely something that is extremely, extremely satisfying about building your own weapon. It's just, you know, it's undescribable in terms of, you know, getting exactly what you want, having a vision, having an idea of exactly what you want to get, and then putting the pieces together to create that vision. So I highly recommend it. If you're a beginner, I had a lot of help from YouTube videos online. Obviously, I was kind of obsessed with watching YouTube videos. NSZ, I believe, is his YouTube channel. NSZ85, I want to say. That guy helped me a lot because his video is very, very well done in terms of it's very easy to see all the little things that he's doing. He's got a great camera setup, so everything's in very high quality. He goes through the steps really nice and slowly, explains very well what he's doing, gets good camera angles as to you know, showing every angle of what he's doing, which helps out a lot when you're building it, because obviously you know, seeing it from the proper angles allows you to really determine how to properly set in things like your pins, different screws, things of that sort. So mad props to NSZ85. I hope I'm getting the name right, but you'll see NSZ, I'm pretty sure is correct. I just don't know if the 85 is correct or not. But mad props to him. He helped me out a lot. I appreciate it. And 300 Blackout, y'all. The round of the future, or so they say. I'll probably have a follow-up review on this AR within the next few weeks after I get some rounds through it, but really well built AR, really proud of it. And I guess there's nothing left to do but to shoot the damn thing. All right, guys, I'm out. I hope you enjoyed.